Lotus Village stirred beneath a rose-tinted dawn. Dew-spangled rice paddies reflected the sky's first light as Ravi, the humble water carrier, stepped barefoot onto the riverbank. With steady hands, he lowered his copper urns into the clear current, each vessel filling until it gleamed like molten sunlight. In that tranquil hour, his heart overflowed with gratitude for the river's gift, and in every ripple he saw promise for villagers who awaited his return. Balanced yoke across his shoulders, Ravi set out along winding earthen lanes. At each cottage, he paused, greeting families by name. Into one pot he poured water for cooking rice. The other supplied bowls for children to splash their faces in relief from the heat. He never rushed, his gentle whistle echoing off coconut groves as he brought life's essence door to door. Laughing children chased after him, and elders leaned from shaded verandas to bless him on his way. By midday, the sun blistered the thatch, roofs. Ravi halted beneath a neem tree and offered water to travelers, the woodcutter, the potter, the wandering monk. Each drank gratefully, then carried remembrance of his kindness onward. Even the birds seemed drawn by his goodwill, perching on a branch above him as though to watch. When the last drop in his urns was shared, Ravi paused to cup his hands in prayer, thanking the river spirit before turning homeward with an empty yoke but overflowing contentment. As dusk fell, Lotus Village gathered around torches for their evening meeting. Ravi arrived with a soft smile, but hush fell when the royal messenger entered. Dressed in silken robes, the messenger presented a scroll sealed with the king's crest. Upon reading, Ravi bowed deep, astonished to be summoned to the distant palace. Villagers clapped and wept at his honor, and he set out at first light, his simplest homespun tunic carrying him toward a destiny he never sought. The palace gates rose like carved mountains, guards parting in silence as Ravi approached. In the marble courtyard, fountains tossed rainbow sparks into the air. Courtiers in silken turbans whispered among themselves, curious at the new arrival in plain dress. Ravi bowed before the dais, the king's voice calling him forward. "Ravi, bearer of kindness, bring water for my court and share your warmth with my guests." With a bowed head and steady heart, Ravi accepted. In the throne hall, crystal chandeliers cast prismatic light over marble. Morning after morning, Ravi carried urns of spring water from hidden mountain streams, offering cups to visiting envoys and the royal family. He greeted each with a radiant smile and village tale. The time fireflies danced through rice paddies, or when fishermen coaxed trout at dawn. Even the stoic king found himself chuckling as Ravi's voice wove simple magic through gilded halls. News of Ravi's cheerful service reached every corner of the court, except the minister's dark chamber. Vikram, the king's once trusted advisor, scowled as laughter drifted past his door. Where once his counsel was sought, now subjects awaited Ravi's next story. In jealousy's black grip, Vikram plotted to reclaim influence, convinced that only the water carrier's downfall could restore his own power. Under flickering lamplight, Vikram approached Ravi's quarters. In soft tones, he wove a lie. The king had complained of an unpleasant odor from Ravi's breath and required him to wear a delicate mask. With bowed head, Ravi accepted the porcelain disguise, believing it royal decree. He fastened its straps, puzzled but trusting, unaware that every stitch of the minister's gift was woven with deceit. The next morning, Ravi carried his heavy urns into the throne hall, mask concealing his gentle smile. King Devaraja's brow darkened at the sight. Murmuring courtiers exchanged glances as Vikram stepped forward. "Your Majesty, Ravi fears your breath, hence this mask." Shock rippled through the hall. Ravi's heart sank, but he bowed in obedience, ashamed at this slightest dishonor to the king he revered. Anger flared in King Devaraja's gaze. He commanded that anyone caught leaving with a bouquet of his palace roses would face death, certain the culprit mocking his reputation lurked within these walls. The court fell silent. Ravi trembled, but offered water in silent devotion, even as his spirit quaked. Each drop he poured felt laden with the weight of dishonesty he had not committed. At sunset, royal attendants presented Ravi with a bouquet of white roses as thanks for his service. He stepped into the corridor intending to place the blooms in his quarters, but the minister lunged, snatching petals into his own hands, crying, "These are mine!" The executioner, eyes hollow with duty, seized the minister and carried out the king's command. Shock peeled through palace corridors as Vikram fell, ruined by his own scheme. The next dawn, Ravi returned to the throne hall unmasked. The king rose, astonished. "Ravi, you live? Why no mask today?" Tears filled Ravi's eyes as he bowed. "My lord, your minister told me." Devaraj's lips twitched. Then laughter rang like bells through vaulted ceilings. He embraced Ravi, recognizing a kindness that could withstand any falsehood. At a jubilant feast, King Devaraj declared Ravi his royal storyteller. No longer mere water carrier, Ravi now shared tales from village dawns to palace nights, his gentle voice weaving unity. Courtiers bowed for his entrance, guests leaned in for his next yarn. In every smile he rekindled the kingdom's faith that honesty and joy outshine any dark intrigue. Vikram's treachery lay bare, his name struck from royal records. Yet in banishment he found no peace. Envy without purpose is its own punishment. Meanwhile, Ravi walked the palace gardens each evening, unhurried, his heart as full as the moon above. Order and laughter bloomed in his wake. Seasons turned. Lotus. Village heard of Ravi's rise as far more than a fountain bearer. He was a bridge of compassion between king and commoner. At harvest festivals in the valley below, villagers celebrated under lanterns, chanting blessings for their son whose kindness warmed stone walls. And centuries later, minstrels sung of Ravi's tale, that a pure heart triumphs where power and guile fail. Morale envy schemes, but honesty prevails. A heart steadfast in kindness can weather any storm of deceit. True greatness flows from compassion, and in every act of service lies the seed of legacy far beyond the reach of any crown.